What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. Also, I'm a Weeble preferred influencer. Use the link in the pinned comment. For the next couple days, deposit $5. They'll give you at least $11 worth of stock free of charge. Before I get into this very serious time right now, Hurricane Ida closing in Louisiana and the surrounding areas. A lot of our major creators, Eric Rayweather, RBT, are in that region. I ask that you guys keep them and their families in your thoughts, and hopefully they can remain safe, healthy, and maintain their possessions. It's a very difficult time to look at a storm that looks to be one of the worst that's ever hit our country. Secondarily, just kind of change gears a little bit here. Angry Joe last night did an over hour-long review/rant of Madden. This guy has millions of subscribers. He doesn't owe anyone in our community anything, yet he chooses to promote so many of our channels. My channel alone mentioned several times within the context of that review. I appreciate and thank him so much for that. This is the most realistic thing I've ever seen come out of EA Sports and Madden. Something went wrong with this game, or at Madden NFL 22. You know, this is a year that they made a lot of promises, a lot of commitments. We're going to bring Maury in here in a moment because he's determined that these gameplay improvements are in fact a lie. And it's not just Maury, it's regular people, guys. I can't even get the content out that I want because every day something is found to be broken in this game. 25 Chicken, a great variety streamer over on Twitch. She's watching an EA Sports game changer here go through Face of the Franchise and realizes that the word performance is spelled wrong. Does the game changer say anything about it? Of course not. But you have somebody like her looking at the details, right? When you look at something like this happen, all you can do is sit there, look at the screen and say, okay, the game is that bad. Now let's talk about this game being exposed. It took a long time. We've had a lot of issues with connected franchise. When we look at the stats here, we know that Pat Mahomes should not be getting tackles for losses, or sacks. We actually first had some community members pick this up when quarterbacks were getting recorded fumbles, not fumbles that they had as a player, but rather fumbles they had as a defender. So when you look at this, can you ask yourself, can a plane really be flown from the rear seat? I don't know, but we do know that when you don't pay attention to details, this is what happens within the context of your game. All these stats don't matter because the score doesn't count. But how were these stats for these offensive players on defense happening? Well, thankfully, we have people that stream this game, the brave men and women that sit there and actually promote this product to a degree. They found things like this happen. This is Aaron Rodgers in a divisional championship competitive game getting an interception, not throwing an interception rather, but actually getting it. Maybe that's why Aaron wanted out of Green Bay. He felt like his defensive prowess wasn't being respected enough. I know he's a good quarterback. You know he's an intelligent quarterback, but did you know so much of that translates over to the defensive side of the ball, right on the championship logo, intercepts it, and then briskly jogs upfield trying to get out of bounds with this game-changing interception. So here we go. This is when we first get to see there's a real problem with this play. Not just the fact the ball snapped right over to another player and he picked it up, but when you super sim in this game, for some reason, your defense and your offense get thrown back and forth. His quarterback now is the center. The actual quarterback is going to be a linebacker. This is what causes all the problems within the context of this game. We're finally now just seeing it in someone's live gameplay. You can't hide from this. You can't get away from this. You can't pretend this isn't happening. You can't pretend this is just my game. This is all other people's games showing you what the problems are. It's the lack of attention to detail, the lack of playing, the lack of trying. Right? When you take a look at those same details, right? When you have John Gruden get picked up by a different team, no one thinks to categorize his assets within the game separately. So here is a Cowboys fan that wanted John Gruden as their coach, right? But John Gruden is such a loyalist to the Raiders for giving him that second chance that he's going to continue to wear the Raiders visor on the sideline of the Cowboys game. I mean, you can't make this up. You know, this is things where when we look at them now, yes, I'm not going to deny that there's a comedic element to it, right? When the word performance is spelled wrong, when you've got a coach wearing opposing teams on their visor and shirt, you can look at it and to a degree you can laugh at that and you can say, hey, that's funny, right? And it is. But the other side of this is a game that they want you to pay $60, $70, $80, in some cases over $100 for. This is the effort that they're putting in. This is what they truly think about you, in the words of Eazy-E. This is what they think about you. They think that you're not going to notice. They think that you're not going to care. They think that you're not intelligent enough as a football fan to go through and notice these little things. And when you let these little things go, when you don't pay attention to these fine details, well, then the big things, right? Of course, they're going to be broken. That's why you have Aaron Rodgers intercepting a pass. That's why you've got a linebacker through a simulation of the game at quarterback. That's why all the stats are wrong. And how do you fix this? I hate to break it to you guys. This isn't something that's just going to be patched. This isn't something that's just going to take a couple weeks of pecking around on a keyboard to resolve. These are deep game issues. This is layering problems on top of existing problems. This is having an issue in the game that you don't fix, putting another layer of code on it, and then you've broken something underneath it that now you can't get to. Right? Think of this game as laying brick foundation, right? When you have something on the bottom, the first layer that you don't address, the more you build on top, the more each of those layers is going to have an issue based on that initial problem that didn't go resolved. That's where this game is. They've continued to build on such a broken base. They've continued to neglect going in and fixing things that now I believe we are firmly, with Madden 22, at a point where there are so many things broken, they don't have a way of fixing this game anymore. When you sit down and make a commitment to franchise, and it takes you over a year, and you still can't get scouting in properly, that in and of itself speaks to the heart of the issue. That speaks to the problem and the challenges they have simply trying to make the game better. But more importantly, when you're trying to make the game better and we see these massive failures of football, things that should never happen, quarterbacks playing cornerback. How does fatigue work in that situation? How does stamina work in that situation? How does skill points assess? How does a player progress? What happens if a player gets injured? Think of everything in the Madden versus, I call it, that gets impacted by that. That's what you need to focus on and understand when you talk about this game, when you defend this game, when you want this game to get better. There's so many little things broken. But those little things also amount to very large things. And it's almost to the point where the only way I see this getting better is EA sitting down, making a true recommitment to this game, and starting from scratch, and I hate to say it. If they have to start from scratch, if they have to sit down and rebuild a game, the time to have done that would have been going to next-gen consoles. They did not do it at that point. They may never do it. So this may be just a small glimpse, a small preview into the future of Madden being broken, that we may never see a quality game again unless we possibly go back to what we saw with Madden 06, where they released just the most bare-bones game possible and try to rebuild off what really isn't a fresh start, but is more just a stripped-down start because of how broken it is. I firmly believe we're getting to those points. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking out, and you know I will be back in the week with more commentary.